What's up? Welcome back. I did some Emmy predictions, and I did not get them right. I so we should start all videos, right? Just be honest about it. I did not get. I got some of them right. I mean, some of the categories, like best actress in a limited series, that was exactly what I predicted. I mean, flat out in my final predictions, like that was the block. That was it. And I'm sad that Robin Wright for The Girlfriend isn't there, but I kind of knew that they were going to do that one feature nominee for Sally Field for Remarkably Bright Creatures. Um, but otherwise, yeah, The Girlfriend just got snubbed across the board. But a lot of series got snubbed across the board. Even good ones, like, I mean, yeah, other ones that just people didn't watch enough. But like people thought Lord of the Flies might break into the race this year. It did not. Uh, some other shows. PBS had Count of Monte Cristo, which could have done something, did not. Um, but so limited series became sort of a little bit of a surprise due to the underwhelming support for Half Man. I'm a little disappointed in Jamie Bell not getting the nomination. But it did go to, like, the surprise ended up being Riz Ahmed for Bates that I did not think was going to get in because I didn't think the series was serious enough to beat some of the more serious contenders. I loved Variety had a hot take that was like, oh, Paul Anthony Kelly or whatever his name is from Love Story was snubbed. And I was like, I definitely would have voted for Jude Law for Black Rabbit or Jamie Bell for Half Man before I would have considered him for Love Story. I don't get the Love Story love, and I'm perfectly fine with him not being here. I think it is weird that they got Constance Zimmer into supporting actress over Naomi Watts, but hey, you do you. It just says more about Naomi Watts' actual performance as Jackie and how well it was actually received that she did not get the nomination, but Constance Zimmer did. Um, Laurie Metcalf making supporting actress for Monster. All right. I mean, it's two Emmy nominations for Monster, guys. Granted, they're both performances, but man, that TV show was terrible. So whatever. So what else in limited series shocked and or surprised me? Nick Offerman in supporting actress for Death by Lightning. Supporting actor for not actress. Supporting actor for Death by Lightning. Didn't have that on my radar. I actually had to look up. I was like, what show is he in? I had completely forgotten Death by Lightning existed as a show because after seeing it, I just didn't think it was going to pop. Like it was going to be remembered. I just wasn't even paying attention to it come awards season. Like I didn't have something terrible is going to happen. I didn't have that either, and it didn't show up. So people were like, "Oh, Camilla Morone." I was like, "No, they're not going to nominate that." So yeah, I kind of had shelved Death by Lightning in the same category as that, and along with I don't know, Smoke from last year. If anybody remembers that, that's a series that didn't trend with Taron Egerton, Greg Kinnear, that show that Apple put out last summer in the Blackbird spot. No one was talking about it. So His and Hers is another one. It was really popular on Netflix. Not going to get an Emmy nomination, and it did not. So everything sort of made sense to me. All the Beef people got nominated that could have possibly gotten nominated. Beast of Me did really well for itself with respect to what it was supposed to. I was surprised All Her Fault did get the series nomination, mainly because this means Peacock is finally starting to figure out how to campaign. Notably, All Her Fault is basically Peacock, like that in the traders. They don't have that much going on here. They're they're left out of everything else. So they don't really have a drama series in contention or a comedy series in contention. So this is it for them. It's All Her Fault in the traders. So for the limited series category, yeah, Jason Bateman got in for Black Rabbit and DTF St. Louis opposite David Harbour. DTF St. Louis got into a lot of categories, but its entire cast ran supporting. So everybody was submitted in supporting, mainly because Jason Bateman was in lead for Black Rabbit. So I couldn't even put him up in lead. I don't know why they just didn't run David Harbour in lead, but whatever. Uh, so it got series, it got Bateman, Harbour, Richard Jenkins, and Cardellini and Joy. I forgot her last name. The other supporting actress from DTF, and basically the entire ensemble of DTF St. Louis that was meaningful to the cast got the nomination. I would say it performed very well for itself, but HBO's other series, Half Man, got Richard Gadd. So there you go. You get one. However, HBO had that problem throughout most of most of the categories. It had a lot of like, yay, oh, we knocked ourselves out of contention. So like in drama series, we have like 7 nominees, and I think people were surprised to see A Night of 7 Kingdoms and Gilded Age here. And what was left out? Oh, Task. They forgot to nominate Task for drama series, which kind of sucked because it meant Mark Ruffalo was like the lone nominee from Task. No, Mark and Tom Pelphrey, but they didn't nominate Amelia Jones as supporting actress, which they should have. Kill one of the pit actresses, not the one who self-submitted, because I think that's ballsy and that's cool. Like HBO said no to her, and then she submitted herself and got a nomination. So I read about her story, and I was like, kudos to you. You do you. But yeah, there's like 4 supporting actresses from the pit, and then Allison Janney, Catherine from Pluribus, and who's the third one? I totally forgot. Um, so it's Paradise. So yeah, could we have found spot for Amelia Jones? Yeah, probably. It would require nominating the pit one less time. But yeah, Task. So it failed to get a series nomination. Hilariously, Your Friends and Neighbors gets a series nomination with no acting nominations, no John Hamm, nothing. It got nothing. It finally broke into the Emmy race in the biggest category without anything coming along with it. And that was strange too, because Night of the 7 Kingdoms also got a series nomination with no acting nominations, which is again a weird take. So I kind of look at Slow Horses as being like a, do we still need this? It's in like 6th season. I know people were frustrated industry never made the cut. I see Slow Horses feels like the most long in the tooth thing that's here of the nominees. People were hoping for a final series nomination for Stranger Things or for Euphoria or The Boys. None of that happened. Testaments, I correctly predicted that Chase Infinity would get nominated, and she did. It ended up being the only nomination for the Testaments, which I thought was going to crack into series. So interestingly, supporting actress also didn't have space for Christine Baranski from The Gilded Age, which it usually does. And it's just only Gilded Age got Carrie Coon this year. It's the kind of ensemble too that really is being beaten to death by the pit, because it also has a pit-ish type ensemble where it has potential for a bajillion nominations. And it just didn't get any. It just got limited because the pit is everywhere. Impressive that The Diplomat got everybody nominated. Rufus Sewell finally got a leading actor nomination. Kerry Russell got nominated. Allison Janney got nominated, and Bradley Whitford was submitted in guest actor. So we're good. Like that's fantastic. Notably, one of the biggest problems that I had in the drama category was in guest actor, where we did not nominate Eric Dane for Euphoria, and we nominated instead Coleman Domingo, who got 2 nominations for Euphoria and for the 4 seasons. And you could say, well, did Dane do better? It's not that. That's not the point. It's the last chance to give Eric Dane any sort of Emmy nomination, to acknowledge any of his work ever in anything. He was also a guest actor in Brilliant Minds. So he had 2 opportunities to be nominated, and they forgot him. But Emmy voters remembered Rob Reiner in comedy actor, guest actor in comedy series. So they do that kind of thing. They just only do it for Rob Reiner, not for Eric Dane. So Sad but true. Very choosy people, aren't they? Yeah, I would argue there's plenty of space for Eric Dane in that category. Everybody who wrote down Coleman Domingo instead of Eric Dane on their roster knowingly participated in the omission of Eric Dane, because then you had to make a choice. You were actively looking at the category for Euphoria and going, I'm not picking Eric Dane. I'm picking Coleman Domingo. It's like he has plenty of nominations and awards at this point. A posthumous nomination for Eric Dane is not the worst thing you could possibly do with your life. So I also correctly predicted that Michael J. Fox would get a Guest Actor nomination for Shrinking, because of course he did. In the comedy series category, man, Hacks cleaned up. Like, oh my God. I think 4 out of the 5 guest actresses in a comedy series are from Hacks. So I think there's like one person, it's Jamie Lee Curtis, and like everyone else. So yeah, Laurie Metcalf became a dual nominee, not for Big Mistakes, but because she was in Hacks, which is sad because Big Mistakes didn't get any nominations, which means the Netflix voters aren't watching it. And Laurie Metcalf's work on Big Mistakes is, I would argue, if Hannah Einbinder wasn't here, it's worthy to win. But then again, if Hannah Einbinder wasn't here, we'd also be talking about Janelle James finally winning, as she's now the lone Abbott Elementary nominee in that category after they dumped Shirley Ralph. So to make space for Hacks, gotta make sure we got all the Hacks people in there. No, really, they made space for Widow's Bay. Widow's Bay picked up 2 supporting actress nominations. Not really heard of Hacks. It was the inclusion of 2 fresh actresses that had never been in the race before. Daryl Dickey and Kato Flynn from Widow's Bay, which really overperformed, getting 2 supporting actress nominations. Stephen Root made it into supporting actor, and Matthew Rhys made it into actor in addition to the series nomination. It also got guest actor nominations. It did. I guess it's the second guest actress nomination, because like Betty Gilpin got nominated for. So it wasn't everybody from Hacks and Jamie Lee Curtis. It was Betty, Jamie, and everybody from Hacks. And Hamish Linklater got nominated in Guest Actor. So, what was the biggest surprise? So in comedy, Nobody Wants This managed to get a series nomination with no acting nominations anywhere. They forgot everybody. Like, even in supporting, there's no Timothy Simons, there's no Jackie Tone, there's nothing. There's just a series nomination for Nobody Wants This, which is a weird take because there were other shows that got nominations. Like The Bear got snubbed for comedy series this year. Did I need The Bear? No, but it's kind of weird that Nobody Wants This got no acting nominations, and The Bear at least managed Ayo Edebiri and Jamie Lee Curtis. So, yes, Jeremy Allen White is absent from the race, as is, surprisingly, Evan Matz Baccarat. I did not have that on my bucket list. I really thought Evan, especially with that hanging chat episode of Gary, where I don't know if voters knew what to do with it, but I figured everybody who watched that would have at least had a better representation of Evan and John Bernthal on their radar, but that didn't happen for them. So, even though you can't specifically, it's the spirit of it. It's like if you see them perform in something, you're going to be excited for it. Let's be honest, half the reason why Chase Infinity got a lead actress nomination is because she's of the moment. You know, she's coming out of her one battle after another, and that's why she's like the lone nominee from the Testaments. So, yeah, no nomination for Elizabeth Moss. Like, sort of surprising. And what other hot takes do I have in comedy? They went hard on Margot's Got Money Troubles, as well. They went as expected on Margot with series Elle Fanning, Nick Offerman, and Michelle Pfeiffer, who, by the way, I won. All of you, hello out there in the world, everybody who was like, it is the year for Taylor Sheridan. We say that all the time. It is never the year for Taylor Sheridan. Not to like continue to beat that dead horse, but that's the thing that Emmy voters need to overcome, or we just need to accept it's never going to happen. It's like trying to predict like NCIS is going to get it every year, right? And you're just like, this is the year. There's a new NCIS spinoff. They're going to finally vote for it. It's like, no, Emmy voters have nearly universally, resoundingly rejected Taylor Sheridan shows across the board. They don't like their basic ass shows. They even dropped Kathy Bates this year from Matlock. Like, she's gone from the race. So and they were like, no. So gone for new nominees like Rhea Seehorn for Pluribus. So yeah, I'm not terribly surprised, but luckily Michelle Pfeiffer had a second show. Nick Offerman dual nominee, that's kind of cool. Shrinking got 2 supporting actor nominations like I predicted it would. I just didn't know if it was going to be Michael Urie or Ted McGinley in second spot. They went with Michael Urie, which I'm happy for. I thought Ted McGinley had about equal amount of chance. I would have been shocked if Harrison Ford didn't get the nomination. Given everything that his character goes through, and of course Jason Segel got in, and so did Jessica Williams. I would love for Kristen Miller, when this race clears up a little bit more and some of these shows are gone, I'd love for Kristen Miller to still get in. Abbott Elementary is a little long in the tooth. It's still got Quinta Brunson, Tyler James Williams, and Janelle James in. And it's in its 5th season. The Bear is eligible. This is its 4th season that it's running with for eligibility for the Emmys. So the Bear collapsed faster, is what I'm trying to say. Only Murders got Martin Short and no one else. And series. Like, it just got series, Martin Short, and blank. Just across the board. To be fair, Rooster broke in with just Steve Carell. So yeah, there were some really interesting choices. I would have loved to see Chad Powers. I thought he was hilarious in that. I would have loved to see that, not just in lead actor, but I would nominate it in series. I'm not unsurprised that The Comeback didn't get a series nomination, that it ended up basically just being a Lisa Kudrow thing. It doesn't terribly surprise me. I kind of thought the actor series was a little too crowded for how many people were there, and that people like Jenna Ortega and Selena Gomez were in trouble. I actually thought it might even lead to Quinta Brunson being in trouble because there were so many potentials for this category. Like Kristen Bell, I really truly thought Nobody Wants This was going to keep at least one actor somewhere on the race. So I thought Abbott being a little bit older, that Quinta might finally have fallen off the race, but I guess they're going to keep voting for her because she also created the show. So I don't know. Those are sort of my hot takes on everything. One of the fun surprises that we're not talking about enough, I don't see enough entertainment news stories in my feed. Breaking news. It's the first year Amazing Race didn't make best reality competition series. Gone. Bye. Get out of here. They've been here since 2003, so that's kind of a big deal for Amazing Race to have vanished. They've been the darling. They won so many of this category, so many awards in this category, that for them to have vanished from the race is surprising. And Dancing with the Stars making a sort of a reappearance, because otherwise we have the shows that have been popular in this race, like RuPaul's Drag Race, Top Chef, The Traitors, which has come on really strong ever since it, got back in the race. Of course, they boosted Survivor back up for its 50th year. So this is pretty expected. But I don't really know why Dancing with the Stars is here. Specifically, cool. But yeah, I thought amazing. No Amazing Race was kind of amusing to me. So those are my thoughts on Emmy nominations that happened. Who do I think is going to win? The Pit. Drama, The Pit. Actor, Noah Wiley. Actress, I'm going to say right now Rhea Seehorn for Pluribus. I think her show is the hottest ticket. The love for The Diplomat, though, really makes me think that Kerry Russell has a shot, because that whole quartet did get nominated, and if I was Netflix, I'd be pushing really hard for Kerry Russell. I don't know, Carrie Coon does not have a shot. That show barely got in. Who else was here? Testaments. She's the only nominee from the Testaments. So, sorry. I think I think there's a place for Rhea Seehorn to get a nomination to make the cut, to make the win. um, Supporting actor. Yeah, it's probably going to be one of the Pitt actors. Which one? That's the debate. And same thing with supporting actress. I think it's still Catherine Lanessa, but it could go to somebody else. They could rotate that. I still think her work last season was exceptional. So the Pitt's going to win everything except actress. And then it has guests pretty much wrapped up too. Yeah, Zendaya's not going to win for her final season of Euphoria. She's one of like the only Euphoria nominations. Comedy, I think it's Hacks. Everywhere that it's eligible, and then it's Shrinking. So I would say Hacks, and then actor is Shrinking. Lead actress is Hacks, and then supporting actor is Harrison Ford, and the supporting actress is Hannah Einbinder. And then guest will probably split. I'm gonna guess Michael J. Fox takes guest actor over Christopher McDonald. So Shrinking picks up one of the guest categories, and then in guest actress, probably one of the Hacks ladies. Yeah, which one? I don't know right now. This is one of them. Limited, I would pick Beef, probably to win series based off of what's nominated here. They didn't go too hard on Love Story, but they did go hard on Beef. They went hardest on Beef and DTF St. Louis. Those are the two casts that basically broadly got everyone in. Although Beast in Me is also nominated, I really never thought that supporting cast had a shot to begin with. Like Brittany Snow, I know some people were like, "Oh, Brittany Snow." I was like, that's kind of a two-hander. That's like if Claire Danes and Matthew Rhys gets in, like that's the whole thing. I don't know if that's enough to give it the win. It's kind of between Beef and DTF St. Louis. I think Beef will win. As far as lead actor, can Oscar Isaac win? I think this gets a little bit more nebulous because Matthew Rhys, there's so much attention on him right now with Widow's Bay that he could steal this from Oscar Isaac for The Beast in Me. And like I said, Beast in Me kind of maxed out its nominations realistically. So it's possible. Jason Bateman being Black Rabbit here and not DTF St. Louis doesn't make me think Charlie Hunnam's not going to win. And Riz Ahmed is happy to be nominated. So Matthew Rhys would be my guess for The Beast in Me. I don't think everybody wins from Beef. So actress, this is, I think Carey Mulligan has some really stiff competition, but I think she'll take it. I think supporting actor Charles Melton has some really stiff competition, and he won't take it. It's going to go to one of the supporting actors from DTF St. Louis. Probably David Harbour, if I had to guess, right now. Although Richard Jenkins being here and being sort of a beloved elder statesman, Jason Bateman's a dual nominee. So, I mean, there's a lot of potential outside, but I think it's going to be one of the DTF boys. I'm leaning towards David Harbour. Supporting actress, I would say... based on that, I don't, maybe Kaylee Spaney gets it. I don't know. This is kind of a little bit of a weaker category. I was surprised by some of the nominees that they picked. Like, Laurie Metcalf's not winning for Monster. Not enough people like that show for it to win. Dakota Fanning for All Her Fault is just maybe All Her Fault got kind of like an okay it got kind of like what Beast is not really that fair because it got what Beast in Me was expected to do, which was basically people were thinking All Her Fault was a series actress, supporting actress. I don't think Constance Zimmer has a shot in hell of getting the win. Linda Cardellini could get it for DTF St. Louis. I know a lot of people resonated with her role. So maybe Linda Cardellini, maybe supporting goes to DTF, actress goes to Beef, and lead actor goes to Beast in Me. I think Limited has a better chance of being not so totally dominated as the other categories are clearly going to be. Anyway, those are my predictions. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the other side.